sit down. Local buzz to the red carpet gowns. Lady Rose the queen with the news to crown. Saturday morning, feel the groove. Sip your coffee and catch the mood. Lady Rose got the scoop for you. Let's make the morning move.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me take this down and make me bigger. Good morning, everybody. I'll bring your wandering minds in. We're going to get out of Satan's little soapbox that he got going on over there, and we're going to get over here to the Saturday morning scoop, and let's see what's going on in our world this week. Let's say some pleasantries and some good morning, Miss Top Notch 2062. It is good to see you in the building today or in the room today. Good morning, Queen Script. Thank you so much for joining me. We got some good stuff on the docket to see this morning. We're going to talk about some of the people who passed away this week. We're going to talk about that typhoon that hit Alaska that we really haven't heard a lot about. We're going to talk about the No Kings protest that is going around the USA today. We're going to talk about Trump commuting the sentence for George Santos. We're going to talk about the 18th day of our United States government shutdown with no end in sight. We're going to talk about the Trump administration telling states to not distribute SNAP benefits. We're going to talk about the soybean farmers. We're going to talk about Prince Edwards. We're going to do that. Crown the clown of the week, because we got us a good clown this week. I want to show you some cute little things that I've just found over the last couple of days that I thought that I wanted to share with you guys. First, I want you guys to like, share, and to subscribe to the channel. And again, like I said, I appreciate you all for coming over. My fair use disclaimer, because I'm going to be using some copyrighted material. But I want to just put this disclaimer out. Some material in this video is used under U.S. copyright fair use section 107 for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and education. Today we'll be doing a lot of commentary, a whole lot of criticism, some news reporting, and a little bit of education. Let's get started. Let me put my ticker down because I want to make sure that everybody knows that my fair use, I'm invoking my fair use. Excuse me. All views expressed in this live are alleged. They're in my opinion, and they're all for entertainment purposes only. They are not for anything other than that. Let's get, hey, pretty girl Riri. Good to see you in the room today. Yeah, we're going to bring all of our wandering minds in. We're not going to worry about all that crap out there they're talking about because it's null, it's void. It's irrelevant to life. It will not buy you groceries, and baby, we got to eat. It's getting bad out here in these COVID-19 streets. We got to eat. We got to have somewhere to stay. We got to have clothes on our back, so we can't be worried about the fluff and the buff and the bull swanky. All right? Because it's just a bunch of fluff buff. It is to distract you from all the stuff that is going on in America. Ignore it. Ignore it and ignore it. Ignore it. We got some really, when I say some stuff that I found that I think that everybody could use. I hope Michelle joins this live this morning because of the SNAP benefits. That is the department that she works in with the U.S. government, and I really would like to have her input. So I hope she pops in before this is over with. But let's get started. I found two little things I did not have on the docket, but I did want to share. One of them is this young girl I saw last night, y'all. It was so funny to me. When I tell you I had to laugh, I had to laugh. Y'all watch this, baby. Look at this little girl. Let me see if I can play it.
Run! Naomi,
run!
No, just let go.
He better run.
Quick! Let him go.
Y'all, I watched that in unhealthy amount of times. Because, baby, when I tell you, Naomi grabbed that goose by the neck. She was like, and the goose was just biting at her, and she just popping his neck. Baby, I was like, punch him, girl. Hit him again. The other goose said he want none of it. Because he was going at her too. But when he saw that Naomi had grabbed that other goose by the neck, he said, I want no parts of that. And he ran off. But y'all, I thought that was just way too cute not to share. I've already said good morning to pretty girl Riri. Good morning, Brown Girls Rocks. So good to see you in the room. Yeah, you thought that was hilarious. It's getting real. It is, Queen Scrape. It's getting real. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. We gotta have us a little laugh every now and then. You know what I mean? Because when I tell you that was funny, that was funny. Good morning, Miss AKA. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So good to see you. I know Chanel's right next to you, probably listening. But yeah, I thought that was just way too funny not to share with people because this week has been really, really hard. Good morning, Deandra. So good to see you in the room. So good. We're going to block out all the noise, push all the noise out, and let's just bring our wandering minds in for a moment. And let's get some education and some news on what's going on in our world. I got one more thing I want to show you guys before I move on. It's a gentleman on TikTok. He belongs to a big family. They're out of Mississippi, I believe. And I enjoy watching them, y'all. I watch a lot of stuff, right? But I want to share him with you. Are you taking her outside? Okay. I want to share this guy with you. This is Thomas Oliver. I guess it's Olive. They're not Oliver. Their last name is Olive. And they own Olive Brother Timber Company. I watched it. When I tell you they should have a reality show, they should really have a reality TV show. They give you the real, and I enjoy watching them on TikTok. I am glad I ran across them. I don't even know how I found them. But y'all, yesterday he posted his video. He has some children. This is Thomas's page. So this guy right here is Thomas. So but I think some of his siblings have pages as well. His mom and dad have I want to say it's 5 boys, and his mom actually runs their timber company. She does the bookkeeping and all that. The dad started it. He's since retired, and now the sons run it. But when I tell you, I enjoy watching Thomas. Let's get in here. I think this is already moving, but let's get in here.
Right there, look at the account, makes you how much money you done spent. You got to monitor him now. A Bible said, "Fool and money shall soon depart." But I make sure some of his money go in his savings account. But the rest of it, I know he's a young man right now. I'm looking at the county, he done spent $400-500 a week, and I don't know where he done did. But hey, you know what? It's him. Hey, I understand he's 20 years old. I get that. Ain't no telling what he like to do when Friday night comes. Hell, I was his age one time. I couldn't get enough of nothing. Only thing I wasn't getting enough of sleep.
He said he wasn't getting enough of nothing. When I tell you, I love watching the Olive Brothers. They are so funny. When I look forward to getting an alert saying that they posted a new video because they are hilarious. They be down there in Mississippi in them woods having a good old time. And when they dress, when I say they are in the middle of the Bible Belt, because I think they're in the Delta, so they go to church on Sunday. You get to see the real. When I say I love them, I actually love watching them. Good morning, Terry. Good morning. Yes, please hit that like button. Don't be like the people were the other day. Hit the like button. It's not going to bite you. Hey, Lady B, as I know, Kashar's Kitchen. Let's see where we're at. Let's get on back over here and watch a little bit more of Thomas, because when I tell you I love Thomas Olive, love that group, love this family.
And that's him.
Of course,
he's talking about his son. This is his son.
Dad, he making sure I stay straight with my money wise, everything I want, I don't need. I might want to spend a bag or something on some clothes or something, but I realize, I ain't got to do that. I can put that towards something that's going to make me some money. 12 hours a day, I got boots on every day. Don't get me wrong, I buy the stuff, but when I leave the job, I got jogging pants, a shirt, and some slides. I'm 20, and it's like I done did a lot of stuff before my time, too, and it's a lot of stuff that I don't even think about no more. Like I'm past that. I did stuff like that when I was 15, 16. Man, I've been having some money for a long time. I've been working for a long time, and I know what it feels like to have it. I done messed up my own and I had it sometimes. It ain't all fun and games, but you gotta learn. Everything my daddy do, I know he doing it because he want me to be better than him. So I don't, everything he doing, everything he tell me, I know sometimes it might not click that second, but dang, it might be a week later, a month later, I be like, dang, my daddy did say that. If I didn't have my daddy, it ain't no telling all the stuff I would have did, but I didn't do so many things because I knew I was gonna have to come home and answer to my daddy. God is great. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, now it's something I've been here age before. I was making business decisions way before he was.
Yes, sir.
At 18 years old. So I know how to make a good mistake, I know how to make a good decision out of bad. I made enough of it.
So if you have TikTok, please go over and like their page. The name of this page is Thomas Olive 80. And Thomas ain't that old, but he act like he an old man. Thomas is probably in his early 40s. Let me get it back over here and say some pleasantries. Yes, please hit that like button. Thank you. That's me, AD. Symmetry. Good morning. Yeah, honey. But when I tell you, I absolutely enjoy them. Again, that is Thomas Olive 80 on TikTok. Please check them out. Brown Girls Rock. They are a hoot. Just a good old country family. They sit up, have them when they get out of work. Their mama have them a whole meal ready. I'm not talking about no tacos or nothing, baby. She have a whole meal, collard greens, black eyed peas, pig feet. She cook it all. And they run when they get out of work, they call her, hey old lady, you got it together, and they stop by on their way home and get dinner. And when I tell you, I love the Olive family. Great group of people to watch. Great group of people to watch. As we do every day, every Saturday, we always start with honoring people that we've lost throughout the week. This first person we're going to put up, her name is Yolanda E. Lawrence. She was the producer of The Good Wife and Riverdale icon. She passed away suddenly at the age of 56. Yolanda E. Lawrence, an acclaimed Hollywood television writer and producer who worked on award-winning shows such as Riverdale, The Good Wife, has passed away suddenly at the age of 56. Her agency, CAA, confirmed the news, saying she passed away on October the 10th in Los Angeles, but did not provide a cause of her passing. According to her former colleague, she passed away in the middle of a pitch. They were pitching a show. She wrote a touching tribute. I can't believe I'm posting this. I wasn't a current friend of Yolanda's, as so many are. I knew her and worked with her in the years when she was an assistant and just starting her transition to writer. She was one of a kind. You can see her spirit in this photo. My heart is broken. So sorry for her close friends and family. She passed away in the middle of a pitch. Meanwhile, a fourth pen, such sad news. Yodi was such a loving soul, full of light and wit. She was wonderful to work with, and I've always hoped we would get to be in a room together. We wrote an episode of Star-Crossed together, and it was so much fun. The world is a little less bright without her. She actually co-produced Peacock's Bel Air. She co-produced Empire in its 5th season in 2019. She did that for 2 seasons, and she later worked as a consultant producer on Showtime's First Lady, co-executive producer for Peacock's Bel Air, if I said, and most recently on BET's Sisters. We want to offer her family our condolences, and we're going to hold them up in prayer as for the days ahead, for comfort and for peace. Rest in peace, Yolanda E. Lawrence. Oh, the next one, y'all, broke my heart this week. Oh, this next one. I actually shed a couple of tears. I know that many of us are aware of our guy D'Angelo, who passed away this week at the tender age of 51. D'Angelo, I believe, had several children. I know that his daughter just made a statement. He had a beautiful daughter. And I'm just going to read a quick little biography of D'Angelo. Michael Eugene Archer Sr., born February 11th, 1974. So my dates are incorrect on here. To October 14th of 2025. Better known by his stage name, D'Angelo. Was an American singer, songwriter, musician, and record producer. Widely regarded as a pioneer of the neo-soul movement. Billboard named him one of the greatest R&B artists, while Rolling Stone magazine ranked him as one of the 200 greatest singers of all time. In 2025, he was inducted into the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame. D'Angelo has 3 children. He first gained attention after co-writing and co-producing the 1994 single You Will Know by R&B supergroup Black Men United. His debut album, Brown Sugar, which was done in 1995, was certified platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America and received widespread acclaim from his music critics, who have credited the album with ushering in the neo-soul movement. It featured the title track, the Smokey Robinson cover, Cruisin', and Lady, which peaked within the top 10 on the Billboard's Hot 100. D'Angelo then collaborated with artists such as Angie Stone, Erykah Badu, and Lauryn Hill, with whom he performed on the 1998 song Nothing Even Matters from her album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. His next album, Voodoo, which was done in 2000, debuted at number 1 on the U.S. Billboard 200s and received widespread critical acclaim. It was also certified platinum by RIAA. Its third single, Untitled, How Does It Feel, was released alongside an impactful music video. Many of us remember How Does It Feel. We will miss D'Angelo. We will miss his music. He left us with some great music. He passed away this week from pancreatic cancer. I actually put together a little montage of some photos I found, giving credit to the places I got them from: Ebony, People, Jet. Rest in peace, D'Angelo. You left us with some great memories, some great music. Let's watch this video real quick. I'm gonna take myself off the screen real fast. Rest in peace, D'Angelo. Oh, when I tell you his passing literally took the wind out of me. It took the wind out of me. Good morning, Butterfly. Thanks for joining the live. Queen Script. Yes. Rest in peace, Yolanda and D'Angelo. And I try to always give a little bit of people that we may not know and that we do know. I was happy to find out that Yolanda had worked so hard in the industry of creating good movies, good shows that we watch. Bel Air, that was on Peacock. Empire. I mean, we loved Empire that she co-produced. Oh Lord, I'm just knocking stuff down. So I really feel like that she was worth putting up. So that's why I actually did the tribute to her. Pretty Girl Riri says he was loved and absolutely revered in his industry. There were so many tributes from people, I'm sure he probably would have never assumed heard him. Exactly. Anita Wilson, which is a gospel artist, did one of the most beautiful tributes to D'Angelo. I actually posted on my Facebook and my stories. Of course, I'm not going to play it here because the music is How Does It Feel? And that song is copyrighted. I don't want to even do any of that. I don't want to risk this being struck or, any of those things. Yes, Miss Top Notch. Bless D'Angelo's family. God bless, comfort, strength surround his family with love and peace. Yes, please, God. Yes, we are offering prayers and our condolences to D'Angelo. Y'all, one thing we haven't heard a lot about this week that actually happened was the Alaskan typhoon. I think it came into Alaska somewhere like on the 13th of this month. And I was surprised when I read it that you said, my kid said, thank you for playing D'Angelo every night during his reign. My kid said, thank you for playing D'Angelo every night during his reign. Him, Erica, and Raphael Sadiq. Then came Jill and Maxwell. Oh my God. When I tell you the tributes were absolutely beautiful. I mean, people that you wouldn't thought did tributes did. I think Terry, one of the comedians that is on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, sung How Does It Feel? And my heart just was so full. I shared it with the Mod Squad. Beautiful tributes that we've seen this week. Yes, rest in peace, D'Angelo. Good morning, Eva Walker. Thanks for joining the live. So back to the Alaskan typhoon. Many of us did not know about the Alaskan typhoon, didn't know it even happened, so on and so forth. So when I heard about it, I was like, wait a minute. What is going on here that we didn't know about a typhoon actually hitting the coast of Alaska? And then I'm thinking the typhoon was actually headed from there. And in Alaska, it caused a lot of damage, but it was headed towards the Carolinas. Just a lot of stuff going on. We just said, had all these guys in my days. Exactly. Getting jealous, getting upset because you were playing D'Angelo. My husband used to be like, oh, cut him off. Cut him off. Hey, Ginger. Thanks for joining. Okay. Child, no information. No information. Oh, I didn't even put that in there, Queen Script. You know that the government, the Pentagon actually wanted all of the news reporters who reported on news in the Pentagon to come in and sign a waiver saying that they would abide by all these rules, and all those people left. And I saw some people saying, oh, yes, take them out, let the trash take itself out. But we have a right to free press. If you're going to start marketing that, you're going to start censoring TikTok, YouTube, anywhere else that people get out and do free press. It's crazy. Well, yes, please come in and hit the like. Thank you, Butterfly, for that. So this Alaskan typhoon apparently took, you said I go to Canada, Asia, Europe. Me too. This morning I was over there in the UK looking at their news, just trying to find some stuff. That's how I found the stuff about Prince Andrews. Over there on the UK news, not in American news over there. But we're gonna get on to this typhoon, y'all. It hit, I think, Nome, Alaska. But the typhoon was so powerful that it was going towards the Carolinas. And so, we ain't hearing nothing. Ain't nobody giving us no word. No actions was saying, hey, we need to be taking cover. Nothing. God he's definitely in control. And I'm gonna tell you this: if you don't have God, you are out of the safety net. You are out of the safety net. Yet it was crazy. I'm telling you. You said the devil is busy, but God, he definitely is busier. Trust me, he definitely is busy. She said, wait, they tried to take me out without telling me. Yes, ma'am. They tried to take you out without telling you. Because it was headed towards the coast of the Carolinas. But I'm not sure what happened. I think it kind of settled itself down and died out in the water. But it was headed towards the Carolinas. That was part of what was said. So let's get over here. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Let's pull it up and let's watch.
Overnight, hundreds of residents in storm-blasted western Alaska airlifted to safety. People plucked from their flood-ravaged homes across an enormous remote area. The largest airlift in Alaska history follows this weekend's massive storm surge and 100-mile-per-hour winds fueled by Typhoon Halgong, washing entire parts of towns into the Bering Sea, and it has left one person dead and 2 missing so far. More than 6 feet of water in some parts.
It sounded like a lot of stuff was just hitting the house. Everything in my house was shaking.
In the town of Kipnuk, this drone video shows what now looks like a muddy bog. Elsewhere, piles of homes and boardwalk mashed together. Remote coastal towns hit the hardest, most residents forced to evacuate to Anchorage. The Alaska Air National Guard packing about 300 residents into the C-17, including children, the elderly, and these dogs.
Do y'all see that? Do y'all see that? I'm gonna go back. Y'all see all these people on this thing? Let's
Below zero in many of the affected areas, it is a race against time to get people out of those saturated homes and to find the missing.
Yes, so many complicating factors there. Matt Gutman.
The elderly,
Here we go.
and these
Sorry,
C-17, including children, the
Forgive me. I went way too far. Let's watch this from here.
elderly, and these dogs. The C-17 touching down at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, and families pouring out, carrying those bundles, pushing the elderly in wheelchairs and onto buses to escape towns that are now uninhabitable.
It's a nightmare what we went through.
Tristan Carl watched his uncle's home swept away.
I saw my cousin and my nephew in there, and I never heard panicking or yelling like that ever before.
Oh,
Glenn Charlie grateful his family's okay.
The buildings, whatnot, could be replaced, but
oh my! Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Oh my God! And these people ain't covering this like we think they should be. Have you heard this stuff on the news? Come on. We have our servicemen and women are in Alaska. We have an entire base in Fairbanks. We have Alaska is part of America. We cannot forget that. There are 50 states in the union. 50 states. Yes, definitely a red state. Definitely a red state. But y'all, to me, that is just the saddest thing. Let's get back to the video.
life cannot be replaced.
And one of the reasons this is such a massively complex rescue operation is the tyranny of distance in Alaska. It is 500 air miles from the affected areas to Anchorage, and officials tell me with temperatures dipping below zero in many of the affected areas, it is a race against time to get people out of those saturated homes and to find the missing.
Yes, so many complicating factors there. Matt Gutman for us. Thank you. We appreciate it. Let's get right to Ginger now with more on the extraordinary weather conditions.
Okay. Well, we're going to be praying for those people in Alaska, the lives that were lost. Such a sad event. Such a sad event. Just help them in Alaska. Show off in your power. God, you're able to help, God. Yes, he is. He is. Yeah, you haven't heard about it. It's definitely a red state. But people still, even though it's a red state, everybody in that state isn't voting red. Let's just be honest. Lives are lives. I don't like the loss of humanity at all. I didn't hear it on the news. Me either. And I watch the 5 o'clock news every day. Did not hear it on the news. Right, that point, Lady Rowe. Exactly. Did not hear it on the news. We're going to continue to hold up Alaska in our prayers. Today, there is a lot of things going on in the United States about, I don't know if y'all have heard about it. It's called the No King protest. So I went down to the TikToker and I did some scuba diving to actually find out about this, more about these actual no king drives. And I'm going to show you what the silly governor of my state had to say about the no king rallies. First, let's start with this TikTok I found with this silly guy right here.
We call it the Hate America rally that'll happen Saturday. Let's see who shows up for that. I bet you see pro-Hamas supporters. I bet you see Antifa types.
The Democrat Party of yesterday is headed to the ash heap of history. These guys are playing to the most radical, small, and violent base in the country. You'll see them on Saturday on the mall. They just do not love this country, and these guys are afraid of them. We call it the Hate America rally because you'll see the hate for America all over this thing when they show up. Yeah, I mean, that's the rumor, Maria. The rumor is that they can't end this shutdown beforehand because this small but very violent and vocal group is the only one that's happy about this.
They have talking points. Talking points where they are trying to call Chuck Schumer and Democratic leaders violent, trying to call Democrats violent. Tom Emmer in a press conference called them terrorists. Here we are several weeks after the horrible violence, the tragedy committed against Charlie Kirk. To be calling peaceful protesters, people have already protested last year, peaceful protesters, they are proudly calling Americans that are going to go out and exercise their First Amendment rights, calling them the, quote, hate America crowd. You see what's happened in 2025. Mm-hmm. You now have a guy who said that he was ruling by the Bible, who actually won't swear in an elected leader because she will help Congress get to the bottom of the biggest sex trafficking ring in modern American history. If you disagree with Donald Trump, if you believe in congressional and judicial checks and balances, if you believe in Madisonian democracy, this is basically what he's saying, then you hate America. What does that inspire? It is dangerous, and it is beneath contempt. And they really, again, for God's sake, for the sake of America, for the sake of our politics, not just now, but for in the future, for the sake of the precedents that they are breaking every day and that we need to rebuild brick by brick. They need to stop. They just need to stop, because in the end, they only hurt themselves.
I want to read some of these comments on the side. Hating your government is not the same as hating your country. I actually love America. I hate dictatorship. We love America. That is why we're standing up for it. We love our country. That's why we don't want any kings ruling over it. That is un-American. Child. The narcissistic government will always view being held accountable as hating them. I am ashamed of what we have gotten our country into. Let's roll on over here. Roll on over here and let's see what Governor Greg Abbott has to say about it. This is in the Texas Tribune. Thank you, Texas Tribune, for this article. Governor Abbott activates the Texas National Guards ahead of No Kings protest in Austin. This is dated for October the 16th. Today is the 18th. It was updated on the 17th at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Governor Greg Abbott activated the state's National Guard in Austin ahead of planned Saturday protests condemning aggressive immigration enforcement. I'm going to read that one more time. Governor Greg Abbott activated the state's National Guard in Austin ahead of planned Saturday protests condemning aggressive immigration enforcement. The No Kings protests will be taking place across the country to speak out against the Trump administration's mass deportation push and the president's threatening to overtake elections, gutting healthcare, environmental protections, and education, according to the organizers' website. Abbott in a press release said he is directing the Texas Department of Public Safety to activate the Texas National Guard because of a planned Antifa-linked demonstration. Today, I directed the U.S. Department of Public Safety and Texas National Guard to deploy all necessary law enforcement officials and resources to ensure the safety of Austin residents, Abbott said. So you have deployed the National Guard, the people that we pay for with our taxes, and the Texas Department of Public Safety, people we pay for with our taxes, as high as these property taxes are around here, you have sicked them on your own people. When the country turns against its own, that is what we're watching right now on this here beautiful United States of all of the America. We're watching the country turn against its own. Texas will deter criminal mischief and work with local law enforcement to arrest anyone engaging in acts of violence or damaging property. Or are you going to arrest anybody who shows up at these rallies? Anti-fascism, also called Antifa, is a leftist movement opposing far-right racist and fascist groups. Abbott's statement didn't specify the connection between the planned protests and Antifa. He also didn't state whether he planned to deploy the National Guard to other Texas cities where protests are planned, including Houston, Lubbock, and McAllen. Austin Mayor Kurt Watson clarified in a statement later on Thursday that the National Guard would not be on the streets of Austin unless there was an emergency need. Watson and Abbott's office did not respond to immediate questions on whether the National Guard would still be stationed near the protests before an emergency occurred. Watson also condemned violent protests and expressed support for peaceful gatherings. Let me be clear. I don't condone the militarizing of our streets, he said. I also don't condone unpeaceful acts that threaten people's health or safety, do damage to property, and disrupt the rights of those who want to peacefully protest. The governor's move, I also don't condone, so he said he doesn't condone the damage to property and the disruption of the right for people to peacefully protest. The governor's move comes after the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, also claimed earlier this week that the protests are associated with anti-fascism, which Trump has designated as a terroristic organization last month, according to The Hill. Similar protests took place across the state in June from McAllen to Midland and were largely peaceful. Abbott also deployed 5,000 National Guard members to those protests to ensure peace and order. Trump deployed the National Guard to Los Angeles during No Kings protests there in June, without the consent of California Governor Gavin Newsom. A federal judge later ruled that the president overstepped his authority by using federal military forces for domestic matters. Child, guess what? That is crazy. That is crazy. Do not turn our military that is made. Texas National Guard is here to defend Texas against the enemy, not against us. Child. Terry said Hot Wheels is such an embarrassment. They're protesting all over the world against that baby president. Exactly, Brown Girls Rock. Yes, it is. Exactly. The government is declaring war on the citizens. Exactly, Queen Script. So how GOP, grand old pedos, are misusing the National Guard. Exactly. Sad how they're doing it. I'm sorry I said sad. See, sad. When I tell you, that upset me so bad reading that. Upset me so badly. We're opposed to anti-fascism. We are opposed to that. That's why we supposedly fought World War II. But when you have people who have no idea what the whole thing was with World War II, they have no idea that's not what's going on right now in America. And Antifa is an ideology, not a group. They piss me off with that line. I totally agree, Butterfly. I totally agree. If you are in the DFW Metroplex, I want you to see this right here. There's a No Kings protest today in the city of Fort Worth, Saturday, October 18th. They have more information on TikTok at somewhere.n.dfw. You can go to that. I don't know what time it will be starting. And we have people that are always going to say some strange things. We don't have kings in America, but we have a damn good president. Child. Fort Worth, stop embarrassing Texas. It's bad enough Austin is where. Child, y'all go out to Burnett Park. It says from 11 to 3. I just saw that. From 11 to 3, Burnett Park in the city of Fort Worth, October the 18th, which is today. Go out there. Be a part of the protest. Be a part of something that is going to move forward. If you see some things that you think is going to be dangerous, don't go. If you feel scared, don't go. But if you feel like that it is time that America stands up to this government, we have to do what we have to do. Ginger said here in Georgia too. That's right. I believe that anybody who wants to do it should be allowed to. Protest it in America is a part of your rights. Peaceful protesting. I ain't saying go out here and start looting and jumping over the fence. Don't do none of that. But protest peacefully. Protest peacefully. That is one of the rights that you have as an American citizen. Whew. I'd take a deep breath. Well, also on this week, your president decided that he would go over and commute the sentence of former U.S. Representative George Santos in his fraud case. Here goes old George. And now he's going to be old free George because of your president, Donald Trump. Remember, he's your president because I'm a president. I'm going to spend the next 3 years trying to get myself together. And so during that time, I'm going to not have a president. I've decided I'm going to be solo until I can get myself together. I'm going to send a shout out to the Associated Press. The Associated Press brings a lot of news that you won't see anywhere else. And they bring it to American citizens free. You can give them a donation, but it's free to get things from the Associated Press. That is where most of our news that they get out here on this radio broadcast and what they get from the TV station, they get most of their information from the Associated Press. President Trump said on Friday that he had commuted the sentence of former U.S. Representative George Santos, who is serving more than 7 years in federal prison after pleading guilty to fraud and identity theft charges. The New York Republican was sentenced in April after admitting last year to deceiving donors and stealing the identities of 11 people, including his own family members, to make donations to his campaign. I just signed a commutation releasing George Santos from prison. Immediately, Trump posted on his social media platform. Child, when I tell you the degenerates just keep on degenerating. They just keep on degenerating. They just can't stop. They just can't stop. Oh my God. Steve, please stop cussing at me. He's not my president with the underground people. Okay, me and you, we can be solo because we're trying to get ourselves together. Brown Girls Rock said he ain't hers either. We're trying to get ourselves together. So we just solo while we work on some things and get our lives together so that we can be ready for the next president. We're going to be ready, hopefully, when it's time for the next president. That's crazy work. Hey, Miss AKA. Oh, my Lord. Crazy work. I mean, it's wild. I'm like, is this dude okay? Is this man okay? As many of you know, we are on our 18th day of a government shutdown with no end in sight. Oh my goodness. Let's see what this is saying. Let's get to this commercial. Skip ad. Okay, let's see if we get some.
Okay. Well, technically, I actually work for the government, so right now I'm furloughed, but technically stopped going to work because I'm essential. So just waiting for a paycheck.
We've lost about 30 to 35% of our business since the shutdown started, which is a huge number considering we are a very small family-owned business.
There's market uncertainty around it. That's kind of halting everything, which affects everybody. It's going to have reaching effects into the economy, and even things long-term like, detriment to the park system.
I tried to make some phone calls regarding like my Medicare health insurance, and I was not able to get through to anybody. And I do have some pretty important questions that need to be answered. And I do have small children as well, so it's kind of concerning.
I'm very upset. I feel hurt because I can't get the funding that I'm supposed to be getting because of the government shutdown and the pause on the funding.
People are very afraid about their basic needs not getting met. Every day my calls are about rent, food, and heat as we're getting into the cold weather in Maine.
If you had to blame anybody for the shutdown, who would you blame?
Mostly both sides, because I do feel like they need to compromise and find a way to work it out for the common good of people. But I mean, at the same time, the Republicans have the House, the Senate, and the presidency, so it's hard not to point the finger there.
I really haven't been happy with what the Democratic Party has been doing lately. I think that they're really just trying to not get along. I think that if both parties could just really try to get along and work on it together. In the past, government shutdowns were avoided because of both parties working together. Now they're not doing that.
I would say Mr. Trump and his way of dealing with things is probably, my opinion, is the problem.
I mean, if Hamas and Israel can reach a peace agreement, why can't our congressmen? I mean, it's silly. It really is silly. Their job is to take care of American people, not fight each other day and night, and they need to stop.
Shout out to US Today for that. Oh, hello, Queen Script. What you got to put in on that?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm glad you're doing politics a little bit. A lot of people are afraid to speak out live on politics, which I understand employment. Right. So these are just my opinions only. They're not for anyone else. You knew we were in trouble when they reelected a PDF, right? Mm-hmm. And all these things that are happening, when he first happened, everyone said I overreacted, right?
Right.
No one's saying that anymore.
At all.
Now they're afraid, they don't know what to do. I hate to tell them there's nothing you can do until election time. And then we're going to have another fight because they're going to cheat and try to steal it. So we already know that's coming. Alaska, I'm not surprised. Come on, the man does not care about anyone. And we know this. So and I'm going to tell you that's why I do not engage with people who voted for him and who try to defend him when the tariff stuff and everything, because this man is wicked and he doesn't mind bankrupting a country or any. I believe he's a Russian operative myself. I believe his goal, and I always did, was to break up the United States like the USSR. That was his ultimate goal, so he could just, make us weak and break it up, and the corporations will own different parts of it. That's basically what he's trying to do, oligarch the whole country, and it is an oligarchy now. But with the news, it is a corporate interest. I mean, it is so apparent right now. You do not get any information. Everything is just stupid. Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. This is not going to save us. Like, He's stopping. Have you ever heard of a presidential order to stop food stamps in the middle of a government shutdown? Ever?
Ever.
Have you ever heard of a president saying, I'm not paying none of y'all? Ain't nobody getting the check. And it's the Democrats' fault, even though I have the power in the House and the Senate, but it's not our fault, it's their fault. He wants to gut Obamacare.
Definitely. He's trying to do that since his first administration.
That is the ultimate goal. And if the Dems sign, people are going to be in trouble. So they cannot sign.
Right.
And it's not their fault because they're not in control. And we know that. So, yeah, I'm just glad that you're touching on these things. I appreciate it. I hope people start listening now for the talking points they're going to bring up. The LGBTQIA transgender thing is going to start making a circuit again and all this stuff. But no one's talking about the PDFs. Prince Andrew gave up his title, right? Prince Andrew gave it up because the Epstein thing is coming back up again. You see, they're not on Meghan and Harry. They're going to get on them again to take their attention off of what's really happening. Ted Cruz made a Freudian slip and said we should be kinder to PDFs. He said it. A sitting officer, he's elected official, said we should be kinder to PDFs.
Wow.
That's who's running our country. So we need to get honest and think about how we're going to eat, how we're going to take care of ourselves. All the houses in my area have 4 and 5 cars in them now. Families are doubling and tripling up.
Right.
People are in trouble. And your Texas State Fair, I wanted to ask you about that. It was empty this year, Lady Rowe. That's what they said.
I was out there Thursday. It wasn't empty.
How was it?
Girl, it was too many people. On a Thursday.
Why are they saying it's empty?
I don't know why they're saying that, because it was full. It was
maybe that day.
My grandchildren were there, and I dropped a lot of money. And I was like, I left them there. I was like, I'm out. Granny gone.
Oh, it sounds expensive. Now I know you dropped a lot of money if you said you were there.
Granny gone. It cost me $30 to park.
Yep, that's what they said.
Cost me $17 to get in. My grandson had a free ticket from school. It cost each ticket was $1. My grandson wanted some turkey leg, wanted a turkey leg. That was 25 coupons. So that's $25.
Woo!
25 for a turkey leg.
Ooh, that's a whole turkey.
We had you know what I brought my little thing, because you know you get a piece of, they give you like a magazine that tells you where all this stuff is. Water. I wanted a bottle of water for $4. I got they had some crab bites. They were $20, and there wasn't but 3 of them. They were about this big around. I tasted some cornbread sliders with oxtails in them. They were $20. Trying to think what else to.
That sounds good.
We always like to try all of the different foods, me and my daughter. So we were getting stuff and we're splitting it. Like I would pay for it. That's why they wanted mama there.
Of course, you're the wallet.
Bring that credit card with you, girl. So yeah. Sausage dogs were $15. Actually, the cheapest thing I saw was something that was I love roasted corn at the fair. I got some roasted corn. It was $10. Roasted corn that I used to get out there for $2 and $3. It was $10. It was madly expensive. I don't think next year they will have the support as like they had this year. I don't think that at all.
They said that it was empty, so I'm glad to hear that the vendors at least are making some money, but I don't know how they're going to sustain our economy this way. Like this, I just think I listened to Richard Wolff, and he said this was all going to happen. He predicted this.
I'm gonna tell you this. My daughter said, let's go into the aquarium. I was like, sure, let's do it. So we get up to the aquarium and they tell us it's 15 coupons for the adults. The youngest one will get in for free. And I think it was 10 for my 11-year-old. I told her, girl, I'm not spending no $40 to go into an aquarium. We could go to Atlanta to the aquarium. I will take you to New Orleans to the aquarium. But I'm not going to take you to no aquarium in the middle of the zoo. I'm not. I'm in the middle of the fair. I'm not looking for that price.
Yeah, that's crazy. They're killing people. The people that are able to, blessed enough to have jobs, like they're nervous about even expressing themselves, and then they work because they don't want to lose their jobs because there's no jobs out here. But the only good news I'm seeing is that people are coming together, sharing information, helping each other more. I am seeing a lot of that, but we do have a lot to worry about, and I think that the No Kings, I understand people want to go. I don't believe in it because I'm not getting shot at or beat up. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I did my part, and I'll do something else. I'm going to work during the elections, at the polls. But all that, I think that's putting my life on the line alone, just working at the polls in this day and age personally.
Yeah.
So,
You said they had wristbands for $25. Child, I didn't see that. If I had, what did you get with the wristband? Did it include you get all the food or just certain things? Because if the wristband was 20, I would have got the wristband. I would have.
That sounds like easily a $300 to $500 day, Lady Rose.
Oh my Lord, even more than that.
Yeah, I was being a conservative. I don't know how many people you were with, but that's and I mean, that's if you go out of town.
Listen at this. I had a car because I joined them. I left work and met them at the fair. My daughter drove her car, so that's 2 cars. I didn't pay for my daughter, but if you add us together, so we parked 2 cars, $30 a piece. That's $60. I pay $17 to get in. She paid $17 to get in. So that's $34, right? We already at $100, and we ain't even made it to the fair. See what I'm saying? Ridiculous.
That's what people were saying. They were like, what I used to pay this for, how my budget would be with my kids, last year, 2 years ago. They're like, it's triple what they used to spend.
Mm-hmm.
And the wages are not going up. And I don't know why people say Texas doesn't pay well. I think Texas pays pretty good for a southern, state overall.
Actually, yeah, believe it or not, our economy's been pretty well up until the last few years. Even our housing has been affordable up until, I'm gonna tell you, COVID kind of made a difference in our housing because before COVID, you could still get a 2-bedroom apartment for less than $1,000. After COVID was when everything just went just off the scales pretty much, where you really couldn't afford it. And that's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous.
Well, that happened in Atlanta after the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody came. They shut down affordable housing. Now everything is luxury housing. That's the title, but it's not luxury.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not getting rented out anymore. The rental market is in trouble now.
Oh yeah, it is. I own a rental property, and but mine is still doing good. I thank you to the Lord. Thank you to God that everything is doing good. Brown Girls Rock says she's in South Carolina and their fare is small, but she said it's also expensive, but they had wristbands for $25. I will say that the fair in Texas had a lot of different perks if you bought in advance. And that's probably what I should have done. I didn't know if they really wanted to go or not because I never got a definite answer. Oh, I want to go to the fair. I don't want to go to the fair. The one grandbaby, I don't want to go. One grandbaby said, oh yeah, I do want to go. The grandson's always up for whatever. The oldest granddaughter, well, I ain't got but one granddaughter. She is fickle. She likes the house. She likes her room. She likes her iPad and her cell phone. She doesn't really care about going nowhere. Literally. Like, I'd be like, you want to ride me to the mall? She's like, no. I just want to go there and watch my TV. So if I had known in enough time, I would have purchased things in advance so that they could have gotten more. My grandson chose to spend, although he got his $25 turkey leg and he got a lemonade, which was, I think he told me the lemonade was $5. And he got a bottle of water, which was 4 points. And he took the rest of his tickets and got basketballs, played games to get balls. He went home with 2 balls. I'm not buying you another ball. We go to Walmart and get a ball.
Yeah. And you see what she said, that everything went up during COVID. You go buy the ball from Walmart, would it cost $2 before, it cost you $10 now.
$10, maybe $50.
Everything. I mean, when I say gone up, it hasn't even gone up like 50 cents, not even $1. It goes up double. Like, it's really scary. We went to buy some things that would have cost us, I'll say, at the most $14. We came out and spent $28 because I looked at my receipt from before.
Who you
And
telling? The
it's
store.
scary. It is
That's-
scary.
And I only got a couple of items, right? And I always think, oh my God, I just came here for a few things, and I never leave out of there without paying $40. Never. I just would go in to get a couple of things. Oh, I needed mayonnaise. I needed, because I'm that girl, I cannot make a sandwich without Miracle Whip. I don't know why, but I have to have Miracle Whip. But when I make tuna, I want only mayo. So I have mayonnaise and Miracle Whip. The other day I was making a sandwich, no Miracle Whip. So I can't eat a sandwich unless I got my Miracle Whip. So I ran to the store to get Miracle Whip. Oh, I remember we need eggs. Oh, we need this, we need that. And nothing was less than $5 when I thought about it. Miracle Whip used to be like $3 because it was, Miracle Whip's always been a little.
Yep, that was my dad.
I paid $5.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say $5.49 at Walmart. It may have been a little for Miracle Whip.
Yep.
I only used Duke's mayonnaise. Oh my God, $5, $4.99. Might as well say $5. Just ridiculous. So last night I needed what did I need from the store? Oh, I went to Whole Foods because I wanted some Virginia baked ham. So I stopped at Whole Foods. It's already a gazillion dollars at Whole Foods. Left there and stopped at Kroger's because they didn't have any. I needed some bread, and I wanted some juice and some butter. So I stopped at Kroger, and everything I bought there was like $4, $5. Although there were 5 items, get $1 off. Girl, I gotta find 5 items now. Now I'm throwing stuff in here I don't need. It's ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
They get you.
They do. They get you. You said we have free church night and student night. Okay, so that's for the fair. Here we have the students they get a ticket from school so they can go Monday through Thursday on their ticket. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you have to pay for the kids. But I believe this year, I may be wrong, but I want to say I heard this year that you could come any day with that free ticket from the school. Restaurants have cut the steak in half and raised it. Definitely true. I never get out of the grocery store spending less than $150. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Symmetry. I'm telling you, I don't care. I try to always I do one big grocery run, and then you have to have your staples. I don't drink milk anymore because I have an issue with cow's milk, the allergy rather. So I buy other things, instead of I buy juices, bread. I'm always gonna be in there getting some lettuce and some spinach, but those are staples that I buy throughout the month. But I never leave the grocery store without spending less than $40. Even if I run in just to get 2 items, I've spent $40. Even if I run in and get 4 items, I have spent $40. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous when I feel like I'm better going to Tom Thumb than going to Walmart. I need my digital coupons and my members points, and I do so much better. You know what? I agree with that, Terry. I do the same thing with Kroger's. Of course, I get the percentage off on gas, so I enjoy that. Walmart no longer the deal at all, Queen Script. In fact, I found better prices yesterday at Kroger than I did at Walmart. Of course, there are going to be things at Walmart that's going to be cheaper, such as produce, but I have found that Walmart produce don't last. I can buy something at Walmart. Let's take a bell pepper, for example. I can buy a bell pepper at Walmart I could buy it on a Sunday, and by Wednesday or Thursday, it's no good. It's already wrinkled all and shriveled up. But I can go to Kroger, I can go to Sprouts, I can go to Whole Foods, buy a bell pepper. It'll last a couple of weeks, maybe 3. It just depends. You said meats, definitely meats. Okay. I try to buy meats at one time. That's my biggest bulk, and everything else is just stuff that we run through on a daily basis, like bread, chips, because my grandkids come up, baby. When I tell you when they leave, I go to Sam's to get a box of chips. When they leave, ain't no chips. They eat up all the chips. They eat up all the chips. Ginger eating out is a luxury. It is. But not only that, eating out is dangerous right now. It's dangerous because our food is so processed. I have tried to make a habit. We eat out a lot. Probably more than I would care to eat out. When I was a kid, my mama cooked at home and we ate out. It was a specialty at the church on Sunday. We went to the Colonial or to the Wyatts to have dinner, or we stopped somewhere and had dinner at the steakhouse or whatever. We primarily, when we drove back home after church, because my mom would put dinner on before we left, you could smell the aroma of the roast or whatever she had put in the slow cooker. When you got home from church, it was already ready. All you had to do was go wash your hands, set the table, and my mom was set the table like they used to do back in the day. We sat at the table and ate all meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We didn't run around the house and take a TV tray and sit in the living room. We all sat at the table and ate dinner. Definitely. They have done something with this new with the bread. Have y'all noticed that even after the expiration date? Yes, symmetry, girl. I thought it was just me. I just said the other day, I didn't throw this bread out. We had this bread about a week and a half, and normally by now the bread would be done molded, but it definitely hasn't molded. She said, Queen Script, the truth. I love Kroger's produce. Me too, and it lasts a lot longer than Walmart. Like I said, Walmart is cheaper on produce, but it don't last. It just don't last. I bought some corn in the hull and before I could shuck it from Walmart, before I could shuck the corn, it already went bad. So I had learned to, if I bought it, come home, shuck it, wash it up real quick, put it in a Ziploc bag, put it in the refrigerator if I didn't want to cook it immediately. Yes, the interference is in reference to the bread coming. Yes. Boy, baby, when I tell you now, I do buy French bread, the French toast bread that's already sliced. That does go bad really fast. You got a couple days to eat that, and it's a done deal. But that bread that you get in the packages, that Sara Lee, and that bread has not been molded. Mine hasn't. I only buy wheat bread anyway, but it hasn't been molded. I go to the bougie fruit market. Our Kroger produce is high. Oh yeah. That's what I do with Sprouts. I go to Sprouts to get produce primarily. Got distracted at work. Who's on the panel? Who's on the panel with who? With me? That's Queen, honey. That's the Queen. I'm searing short ribs right now, and my son just came off the patio to come take one. Save me one, pretty girl. Pretty Riri girl. Save me. I just need about this much. I just need that much. Queen Script is on the panel. Thank you for answering the HEB pantry for me and Whole Foods. As a very last resort. Baby, Whole Foods. Woo, girl, I was going to Whole Foods like, oh my God. A friend of mine called, what are you doing? I said, oh, I'm at Whole Foods where you shop at, girl. I just could come by here every now and then. She was like, you can't afford a day to put you out, did they? She said, yes, I thought I was tripping. Exactly. Got to take care of my, okay, Quentin. Thank you for coming on the panel with me. I really appreciate it. She said she thought she was tripping too. But yes, the bread is not going bad as it used to. Used to be, you start seeing the spores on the bread. I'm telling you, my kids will get down to, well, the people in this house I ain't got but one kid, and she a whole adult, but she has a kid, and then my husband. And the bread will get down to probably maybe about 4 or 5 slices, and they'll just sit in the corner. They won't even eat it anymore. So I have to go buy a new, fresher pack of bread. And then I'll notice that little pack is sitting over there and nobody finished eating on it, but it's still not going bad, which is wow. Let's move on over to our next topic. The Trump administration tells states to not distribute SNAP benefits. Let's go here first. I'm going to add this one to the stage because
benefits will not be issued for the month of November.
You go back so y'all can hear
SNAP benefits will not be issued for the month of November. If you're new here, my name is Crystal. I'm a social worker and a caseworker. I have been working in the social service field for over 10 years. I also worked at the SNAP Welfare Food Stamp Office for over 6 years. I have processed hundreds of SNAP cases, and in this video, I will explain to you what's happening with November SNAP benefits. Due to the government shutdown, many states are now sending out notifications stating that they do not have the funds to issue SNAP benefits for the month of November. The federal government has already informed all states that it will not fund November's benefits. And since the funding for SNAP comes from the federal government, the states literally have no money to pay out. Some states are outright saying that they will not issue November's benefits, and some states have not confirmed it yet. I'll just tell you, if you receive SNAP benefits, please be careful on how you spend October's benefits, because there will be no more SNAP issued until this shutdown ends. I have some resources to help you find food pantries if you need it, linked in my bio. All you have to do is click the link, put in your zip code, and it will show you a list of food pantries near you. If you have any questions about this, feel free to let me know, and I hope this helped.
I found that on TikTok, and it's really sad that we don't want our people to eat. Trump, there's a government shutdown. Trump has tried to lay people off during the shutdown. Has closed down departments in the government during the shutdown. Although the courts stepped in and said he couldn't lay people off, they're saying now that that does not affect the departments that he closed. So those people will definitely be laid off. It's just wild. It's just wild. Let's move over to another one of my favorite ladies off of the TikTok, Christina, and let's see what she got to say about it. She's gonna break some things down.
This is an important cup of tea. A whole lot of y'all have reached out to me today about the news that's spreading that people that receive SNAP benefits will not receive their benefits starting November 1st. SNAP benefits, EBT, that is food stamps. And yes, a letter was sent to states to tell them to withhold releasing funds to recipients, dear. And in that letter, they were talking about the shutdown. But that's not what's going on. No, baby, I've got the entire cup of tea. So what you may not know is that back in May, the current regime sent letters all across the US of A to the SNAP departments, to the EBT departments, requesting data on EBT recipients, those who receive food stamp benefits, going all the way back, this is important, all the way back to 2020. Now, what was going on in the United States in 2020? The flu-pocalypse. And because of the flu-pocalypse, people in the United States were receiving SNAP benefits that had never received SNAP benefits before, under emergency SNAP benefits. Millions of Americans who had never received SNAP benefits before were receiving them because we were in a national emergency because of the flu-pocalypse. Just like people who had never before qualified for unemployment because they were 1099 employees were receiving unemployment benefits because we were in a crisis here. Okay. So it's safe to say that a whole lot of the people who started freshly and newly receiving benefits in 2020 are no longer receiving those benefits anymore because that emergency is over. Right? Right. Now, blue states refuse 27 states turned over that data. Red states, they turned over that data to the federal government about who in their state receives these SNAP benefits. And this isn't regular data. This is all your personal information. You see, we already give data to the federal government about SNAP benefits, not the names of the people who receive it or their home or addresses or their social security numbers or all that other stuff that you put on those applications. Just data about how many people are receiving the benefits and what the amounts are. That's normal. But asking for all this personal data is not normal. And blue states came out to say, no, we're not sending you this data because...
Yeah, I listened to this earlier. I don't know what's going on with her sound. Looks like someone is blending in. I have refreshed, listened to it again. I don't know if they're messing with Christina's TikTok, because when I say this lady be on their heads, but I'm gonna play it anyway. So if you hear a little bit of interference, it's something in her sound and I cannot remove it. I don't know what it is, but just listen to her and hopefully you can hear her over whatever that sound is.
This is just another play by this regime to collect data on Americans for surveillance, for immigration operations. operations, and they refused to send in that private data to the current regime.
I gotta go to the store.
And it pissed off the current regime.
Charlie horses though.
It did. It pissed them off. Because legally,
Yeah, I took my meds.
these states don't have to turn over that data.
Yeah, I got to. I'm waiting.
They don't have to. Nope, they don't have to. And it's pissed off the current administration. So in a play to try to force Democratic states to hand over your private information, they're threatening to withhold.
I really hate that they're messing with her video. I hate that because she gives such great information.
Hold benefits. And it's an empty threat because the federal government doesn't have the authority to come into your state and force EBT to withhold your benefits. However, alarm bells should be going off for you today if you are living in a red state, because these 27 red states complied right away in May and handed over that data to the regime. So there's no reason to believe that those red states wouldn't once again comply with the administration and withhold those benefits. Now, if you live in a red state, your red state actually has the right to deny this request legally and still issue you your EBT benefits, dear. They don't have the right to stop it in any kind of way. We're going to have to see how this plays out today. But it's making the current regime look very, very guilty, honey. That they're just wanting to collect data, just like Blue State said, for their little immigration and surveillance plays. And imagine the amount of data on Americans they would receive through EBT going all the way back to 2020. They would receive data and personal private information on American citizens who no longer even receive these benefits, dear. It would be a huge data haul, wouldn't it? But either way, from everything that I can find today, they legally cannot stop you from receiving your benefits. They can't claim it's a shutdown, because that wouldn't cause you to not receive your benefits, dear. They can't claim anything.
I filled
really.
this bowl.
I think I found out why. This is a repost. Let me get over to her page. We're at, looks like 5 minutes and 11 seconds into her video. Let's see if we can get over to her page and find it. Because that was aggravating the dog crap out of me. I'm sorry.
Well, well, well. I got more things that I need to. Well, well, well. Well, well. Well, well, well. Well, well. Well, well. Well, well, well. This is an important cup of tea. A whole lot of y'all have reached out to me. You don't have the right to stop it for their little immigration and surveillance
There we go.
plays. And imagine the amount of data on Americans they would receive through EBT going all the way back to 2020. They would receive data and personal private information on American citizens who no longer even receive these benefits, dear. It would be a huge data haul, wouldn't it? But either way, from everything that I can find today, they legally cannot stop you from receiving your benefits. They can't claim it's a shutdown, because that wouldn't cause you to not receive your benefits, dear. They can't claim anything, really, at all, as a legal reason to keep people from receiving their benefits. They can't say that it's, they're trying to sort out fraud and waste either. That's not an excuse for withholding funds from people who are not participating in fraud and waste, dear. Okay, so I hope that helps you out a little bit today if you're in fear in some kind of way. I still think you should keep your eye on this if you're living in a red state to see if they're going to comply. And this is going to affect you too, MAGA. If your red state decides to comply full on with the current regime, you're not going to get your benefits, baby. Because, you know, whether you want to believe this or not, Red Hat, with your food stamps and all of that, this was never about sorting out fraud and waste, honey. This was about changing the federal government to no longer support the people who support the federal government. This was about making sure that your taxpayer money never, ever went to you, honey. But yes, that's the T right there. They've been trying to do this since May of this year. They want the data on Americans going all the way back to 2020, which would include millions of Americans who no longer even receive these benefits. They don't need your personal information to track the data of fraud and waste and abuse within the SNAP programs. They don't need your personal data for that. They already have enough data to see if there's any fraud or waste and abuse. All of this, all of it is bullshit. Every bit of it is bullshit. Okay. All right. I hope that helps.
If you're not already following Christina on TikTok, I did put her name inside of the chat as well as her link to her page on TikTok. I'm showing you this on my laptop. I follow her on my phone. So that's why you see, because on my laptop is a whole different little thing I made just so I could do my Saturday morning scoop. Queen Script said, blue states are big on privacy. None of your business. I agree. Symmetry said, if you haven't yet, you should follow her on TikTok. Thank you, Symmetry. This is her. Yes, please follow Tea Time with Chris. And there's a dot between Tea Time and with. So teatime.with.chris on TikTok. And that is the link to follow her. Brown Girls Rock said, as we know, it's a lot of them receiving them. Exactly. There's a lot. I saw data this week. It showed the amount of people that was receiving benefits. And I want to say that there was like 47% were Republicans. Then it was like 31% were Democrats, and then the rest were other whatever. But I saw that this week. I forgot. I should have screenshotted. I probably was busy scrolling and was doing something else, so I did not get it. It was like the bootleg movies in the early 2000s. Yes, ridiculous. Ooh, child, y'all keep your ears and your eyes open. That's why I've been saying, you guys, buy foods that were non-perishable, like beans, lentils, peas, cornmeal, flour. Buy stuff that you can use. Stack those freezers up with meat. These people that are getting food stamps out here, whatever y'all doing with them, y'all need to be utilizing them to feed your family. There's no reason for you to be getting $1,000 worth of food stamp and your children hungry because your food stamps, you may not get food stamps next month. That makes zero sense. Stop buying them ding dongs and them Twinkies and all that processed food. Buy them something that they can eat. Okay. Always buy your children something they can eat. Buy something that will last. Buy something that will last. I always found her on YouTube and Instagram. Okay, well, she's on TikTok, and her TikToks are so much. You can just scroll through them and just have a good time. So that's where I find her at. Project 25 was in Israel. They're trying to see how far they can go. Exactly, Ginger. They are trying to see how far they can push this regime on us. And that's why I said I see in the near future an uprising. And I'm just being honest. I love her. She definitely is. And I love her tenacity and her ability to be real. Just be real and get out here. This lady takes a lot of time studying to bring us things that she does. She's not just sitting over there chit-chatting and, getting on here half-heartedly giving us information. She's doing the work. She's doing the research to bring us information. Okay, Butterfly. They have already halted WIC and said, oh, my God. Who gonna feed the babies? Whew. We have Tish James in New York State. She is no joke and unafraid. Thank God for Tish James. We also know that they're after Tish. The Bible Belt has the cruelest oversight. regarding programs for poor people. They definitely do. They definitely do. Let's talk about the soybean farmers. We've talked about them a little bit a few months ago. I want to say in September on one of our Saturday Scoops, we talked about the farmers in Arkansas, I believe, was the ones we talked about. Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm trying to remove some things. There we go. I don't like that. Because nobody needs to know who up here but me. Let's see. Let's look at the farmers and what's going on with these MAGA soybean farmers. MAGA now stands for Making Argentina Great Again. A bailout is like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. Trump's tariffs are them. Are you guys listening? And it gives some names of different representatives and governors. Let's listen to what he got to say.
Make Argentina great again.
According to the University of Illinois, the average grain farmer will lose $100 an acre this year.
Why? Because there's nearly 1 billion bushels of soybeans that don't have a home right now.
The Trump administration is considering $10 to $15 billion in aid.
1 billion soybeans. They're just sitting, rotting in someone's field because they don't have anybody who wants to buy them.
To American farmers. But Bartman says that's not the answer he was hoping for.
A bailout is like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. Government bailouts do not make up for our loss of income. They're designed.
Is he crying? Yeah, I hope he's not crying.
Not to. And they don't work. We don't want a bailout. We want markets for our crops.
Breitenmoser understands trade deals need reform, but wishes President Trump's trade war was approached differently.
When you're a country that produces a lot of agricultural products, and that's one of your main exports, you want to be careful as to how you move forward to make sure that you get the best deal possible, but that you also keep your consumers.
That's fine and good, but there's no farmer that wants a handout. We don't want a welfare package. What we want.
That's bull. That's bull. But let's
good, strong markets. We want inputs to stabilize.
Bailout's not going to do it.
Once you lose a customer like China, can you ever get them back?
I sincerely doubt it. Why would they?
Whitney.
Okay, so they say they don't want to bail out. They say they don't want to bail out. But I want to take your minds back a few years ago, where Black farmers were upset because there were loans being given to white farmers that the Black farmers could not get. Y'all remember that? The government was giving these white farmers loans, but they were not giving them to the Black farmers. And the Black farmers were they were trying to get the word out. Let me see if I can find that. Black farmers unable to get loans. This happened some years back. Oh, I found it. Black farmers were unable to get loans due to a historical systematic discrimination by the USDA. But guess who was getting those loans? The MAGA farmers. They were getting those loans. So let's say that's a bailout. That was not only a bailout, that was a little bit of, what is the word we want to use? Welfare. It was all those things. And now you over here crying because Trump done made a deal with China to buy all of the soybeans that you normally sell to China. Shame on you. But it was okay when it was happening to those Black farmers. It was okay. But now it's happening to you. It's a problem. You should have been fighting for the Black men and the Black farmers to get the same loans you were getting from the USDA. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I told you we was going to talk about these soybean and these Lord have mercy. Farmers for Make America Great. Isn't that what it was a while back? Is that what it was? You say I'm sick of him, right? South Carolina is the Yahtzee's beloved state. First to secede from the Union. Child. Well, we tried to tell them racism is very expensive. It's very expensive. And it's costing them dearly. Will Snit. Hear that little baby. Will Snit. It's harder to get it definitely is. When you lose a customer, who you think is going to just come back to you and give you the money? Most of the time, if I was going to a place and I fell out with them for some reason, I ain't going back over there. I'm done with them. I'm done with them. They're going back. And it's definitely welfare. I don't care how you look at it. It's definitely welfare. The Chuck Grassley's sitting senator of the world were getting they're getting the loans too. Getting the loans too. But these black farmers could not get it. Let me see if I could share you what I was looking at just now when I typed in the black farmers unable to get loans. Here it is. This is part of the 2002. In 2022, black farmers were persistently left behind from the USDA's loan system. The story is part of a multi-part series examining the desperate impacts on black farmers. Lucius Abrams, is the third generation to take over the family Georgia farm, an operation that has long grown cotton, corn, and soybeans. When he did not receive a loan in time to buy the seeds and the supplies he needed, he joined the Pigford and Glickman class action lawsuit against the USDA. The 1999 lawsuit alleged that in myriad ways the agency discriminated against black farmers, resulted in uneven distribution of farm loans and assistance. This caused many black farmers to lose their land, get out of the way, and farms to go into foreclosure. Pigford plaintiffs like Abrams were supposed to receive payments after the case was settled in 1999. However, tens of thousands missed out due to the confusing paperwork and filing deadlines and what neared attorneys malpractice advocates say. In 2010, Congress appropriated an additional $1.2 billion in a second round of payouts, but still many did not receive them due to more denials of claims and deadlines and processing issues. In addition, many say there has to be a larger culture shift at the department because farmers do not trust their loan applications will be processed fairly if they cannot even file them. Indeed, an PR analysis of the USDA data found that black farmers received a disproportionately low share of direct loans given to farmers, leaving them behind in a program that is important to their livelihoods. The department itself has long tried to fix these systematic problems, but many farmers and advocates remain skeptical, and its efforts will ultimately benefit those who need it. Let me back up. But many farmers and advocates remain skeptical that its efforts will ultimately benefit those who need it most. The USDA's leading process for the last century is not set up to support non-traditional growers, including the farmers of color who face high rejection and withdrawal rates as a result, said Zach Duchnenix, the Farm Service Agency Administrator at USDA. So this is not new. What has been happening to these black farmers is old, right? So now all of a sudden you want a bailout. Oh, a bailout's not going to work. But these black farmers couldn't even get a bailout. They didn't even get that back in the day. You said, well, of course they are. I said, exactly. The Great Depression taught us one thing. When all we have is each other, we make it. So true, Queen Script. So true. Hello, Ariel. Happy Saturday, Lady Romod in chat, listening on my break. Thank you for listening. I think it's just wild that although I feel sorry for all of the farmers as a whole, but we cannot pull up one group and not pull up another group. Y'all are all out there farming. Y'all are all out there creating something that that the world needs in some sort or some fashion. And to know that you're not doing it correctly is sad. The black people couldn't get it. Now y'all crying and whining, and y'all voted for this man who is now going to let your farms go to crap. Let's be honest about it. Let's talk about Prince Andrews real quick, because we know I didn't put that on there, but we're going to talk about that too. As we know, Prince Andrews was very good friends with that guy over there named Jeffrey Epstein. And believe it or not, Prince Andrews decided to make a statement on October 17th, which was yesterday. In discussion with the king and my immediate and wider family, we have concluded that the continued accusations about me distracts from the work of His Majesty and the royal family. I have decided, as I always have, to put my duty to the family and country first. I stand by my decision 5 years ago to stand back from public life. With His Majesty's agreement, we feel I must now go a step further. I will therefore no longer use my title or the honors which have been conferred upon me. As I have said previously, I vigorously deny the accusations against me. This I found on the website, the UK News, but this is actually the website for the royalty of the UK. So, as many of you know, there has been scuttlebutt about Prince Andrew for years. And as all of this stuff about Epstein keeps coming up, his name just keeps getting thrown into the pile and keeps getting thrown into the pile. And I think that, because although the UK has a king or previously a queen, they're ran by the parliament. And I'm sure the parliament decided that they just did not want Prince Andrews to continuously be in front. And, they take a lot of heat. So Prince Andrews has resigned. Godspeed. I wish you well on anything that you are doing and all of your endeavors, Prince Andrew. As you know, Prince Andrew is the baby brother of the king and the youngest son of Queen Elizabeth. Let's move forward. I think we're down to crown our clown of the week. Yay! And this week's clown of the week, let me put my little clown of the week sign up. The crown of the week is going to go to this guy right here. Let me move this down. And this guy, he acted a whole donkey. But let's look at it.
Our Tom Homan was recorded on an FBI surveillance tape in September 2024, accepting $50,000 in cash. Did he keep that money or give it back?
George, you've covered the story ad nauseum. Tom Homan did not take a bribe. It's a ridiculous smear. And the reason you guys are going after Tom Homan so aggressively is because he's doing the job of enforcing the law.
You said he didn't take a bribe, but I'm not sure you answered the question. Are you saying that he did not accept the $50,000?
George, this story has been covered ad nauseum. He did not take a bribe. Did he accept $50,000? I'm sure that in the course of Tom Homan's life, he has been paid more than $50,000 for services.
I'm asking you, did he accept the $50,000 that was caught on the surveillance tape? Did he accept that $50,000 or not?
George, I don't know what you're talking about. Did he accept $50,000 for what?
He was recorded on an audio tape in September 2024, an FBI surveillance tape, accepting $50,000 in cash. Did he keep that money?
Accepting $50,000 for doing what, George? I'm not even sure I understand the question. Is it illegal to take a payment for doing services? The FBI has not prosecuted him. I've never seen any evidence that he's engaged in criminal wrongdoing. Nobody has accused Tom of violating a crime, even the far left media like yourself. So I'm actually not sure what the precise question is. Did he accept $50,000? Honestly, George, I don't know the answer to that question. What I do know is that he didn't violate a crime.
So you don't, what was caught on the tape, you're saying right now you don't know whether or not he kept that money?
I don't know what tape you're referring to, George. I saw media reports that Tom Homan accepted a bribe. There's no evidence of that. And here's, George, why fewer and fewer people watch your program and why you're losing credibility, because you're talking for now 5 minutes with the Vice President of the United States about this story regarding Tom Homan, a story that I've read about, but I don't even know the video that you're talking about. Meanwhile, low-income women can't get food because the Democrats and Chuck Schumer have shut down the government. Right now, we're trying to figure out how to pay our troops because Chuck Schumer has shut down the government. You are focused on a bogus story. You're insinuating criminal wrongdoing against a guy who has done nothing wrong instead of focusing on the fact that our country is struggling because our government's shut down. Let's talk about the real issues, George. I think the American people would benefit much more from that than from you going down some weird left-wing rabbit hole where the facts clearly show that Tom Homan didn't engage in any criminal wrongdoing.
It's not a weird left-wing rabbit hole. I didn't insinuate anything. I asked you whether Tom Homan accepted $50,000, as was heard on an audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
No,
Well,
George, I said that I don't.
Up next, we'll be right back. The White House.
Babe, when I tell you that's how you shut them down. So we have crowned the clown of the week. Would be this guy right here. And we know him as JD Vance. This guy right here is our clown of the week. He is being crowned clown of the week. This is a clown. This is a clown. You was asked five times the same question and you avoided it all 5 times. You a clown. You a whole clown. A whole clown. A whole one. You're a whole clown. Okay, one more thing, and then we're going to get up out of here. We're going to call this right here a Saturday Scoop after we get through with this one. You said George should have never let him spout those lies about Democrats shutting down. He shouldn't have. I totally agree with that. But the very fact that he cut him off, I think, was payback for letting him even do that. Should have just click. Dude, you done ran across the wrong one. When I tell you JD Vance is a clown, oh my God, he upset my spirit real bad. Knocked him off his cocky pedestal, and he should have knocked him off a lot sooner. But he did it in perfect timing. Baby, when he said move along, you don't want to answer no question. He moved right on over there. Click. Let me cut you on off. You ain't talking about nothing. Oh my God. JD Vance, we knew that he would be a clown, but baby, we got the whole circus down there at 1900 Pennsylvania Avenue. The whole circus is down there. Moving forward, Dallas County Election Department, I wanted to make sure that I keep on everyone's mind that there is a special elections that is coming up on November the 4th, 2025. In Texas, all around this country. You check your state. I'm checking Texas. You check it wherever you are. If you're in Georgia, you're in Carolina, if you're in Pennsylvania, if you're in California, check your state and see what those special elections are. In Texas, a constitutional amendment election is a type of election in which voters decide whether to approve proposed changes to the Texas Constitution. These amendments are typically proposed by the Texas legislature during a regular or special legislative session. Voters in Texas can approve or reject each proposed amendment. The proposed amendments cover a wide range of topics, including government operations, taxes, property rights, and other legal matters. If approved, the amendment becomes part of the Texas Constitution. In addition to the statewide ballot, many cities and independent school districts, ISDs, will also hold their general and special elections jointly with Dallas County during this election. These local elections may include races for city council, school board, bond propositions, and other local matters that will appear on the same ballot. You can click here. You can go to this website and find it. I don't live in Dallas County, so I will be looking for the one in my county to do this, but I wanted you guys to make sure that you keep on your head. I believe that, let me look and see when early voting starts for the special election, because I want to make sure I put that in here. So early voting will start. Oh, come on, give it to me. Y'all hold on. I'm trying to get some information to give to you guys. Early voting in Texas for the special election. I guess because I'm scanning this, it should be something right here when I typed it in. Voting early in person. It's not giving me a link. Oh, darn it. It's not giving me the date. But you guys make sure. Okay, so Terry, you're in Dallas County. So yes, November the 4th. First Tuesday of the month. First Tuesday of the month is always when we're going to vote in November. If you can do early voting, do that. But if you cannot, go November the 4th. Wherever state, whatever county, wherever you are, there is something that you need to go vote on. Make sure you have your ID with you. If you have your driver's license, you could take a passport, I believe. You can also take your state ID with you as a thing. In Texas, we have voters registration cards. I normally have my card in my purse, but if I don't, I just give them my driver's license. So take those things. Make sure you vote. The only way your voice will count is if you vote. You guys, I want to thank you for joining me today on our Saturday Scoop. We've been on here an hour, 46 minutes and counting. And I appreciate you guys. I hope that you guys liked the live this morning, that you will subscribe if you have not subscribed, and you will share this video so that someone else can get the same information that you guys have gotten. Let me make sure I got everything. Yeah, I've done everything. We're going to remember our clown of the week, that he is definitely a clown, him and his homeboy, the circus. Him and his homeboy are the circus. We're going to go out today with the special tribute I did, the video I made for, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use my little video, but I'll throw in D'Angelo, and then I'm going to throw my video behind D'Angelo, because we want to remember to honor D'Angelo and to pray for his children. Thank you, Gingy, for saying that. I really appreciate it. If no one told you today yet that they love you, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I'm going to come back probably later on this afternoon with the episode 3 of Unlocked Family Secrets. I enjoy those shows. So I will see you guys later. Let's bring back D'Angelo, and then I'm going to go out with my action.
Wake up, the world is turning. Stories are burning bright. From your block to the stars tonight. She's got the scoop, she's got the glow. Lady Ro knows where the stories flow. Saturday morning, rise and shine. News from the heart to the headlines. Lady Ro's got your ear. It's time. Let's dive in deep and climb. World spins fast, but she slows it down. Local buzz to the red carpet gowns. Lady Ro's the queen with the news to crown. Saturday morning, feel the groove. Sip your coffee and catch the mood. Lady Ro's got the scoop for you. Let's make the morning